Alrighty. Well, I had to do a video on this woman. Now, she was trending on Reddit. And now, if you haven't seen this video, I've got the links in the below. And this chick is fucking the worst of the worst of the worst of worst. You can see the first comment. Home Depot needs their employees to carry bear spray. And that's a good one because if you watch the video, this woman goes on an absolute freaking tangent on some poor worker over probably nothing. And he actually got fired for it. And Home Depot maybe got them their jobs after the incident went viral or whatnot. This woman is just terrible. She's horrible. Why do we have people like this in our society? And she just goes on a tangent. You can see it below. The next comment is need to create a facility of people like this, just like a Karen thing. That's true. It's like, why do we allow people like this in our society? They're so terrible. They now she was shouting racist and homophobic slurs at this guy for whatever reason, and she just thought she could get away with it. She knew she could get away with it. She decided to be fucking terrible, and it's blown up in her face a little bit. The next comment. Male race, for fuck's sakes. I know. Poor, I feel your pain. She goes on a tangent talking about the male race and shit like that. It's fucking embarrassing and deplorable that we allow these kinds of people to be the way they are. And they get away with it too, 'cause she knew that she wasn't going to face any consequences. She knew it. Alright, next comment. Dumbest saying in the world, keep getting repeated over. Respect is earned, not giving. No basic human rights. Yeah. And people really, really feel against this woman. I mean, she is just awful. She's awful. The next comment. Bad news. She has an OnlyFans account. Hilarious that she's getting dragged there too. Well, of course she would have a fucking OnlyFans account. How else would she make money? It's hilarious. It's hilarious and makes me sick that she's gotten attention from this. Sick to my stomach. Karen's out there disguised as flower children. Oh man. Now you can see from her, the way she dresses, the way her hair is, her glasses, it's all just privilege. It's pure privilege. She just thinks that the world owes her everything in life and she can voice her opinions. Fucking some poor dude just trying to get paid at Home Depot. And there'll always be another guy to come get his dick sucked for whatever she wants. Look up her cramp. She's apparently a mental health advocate. Yeah, right. She fucking, she fucking of course would have a mental health advocate in their profile. These type of people just their own mental health. Mental health is all about, looking after yourself. But what these people do is that they are mental health advocates for everyone else or them and not anybody else. They're the opposite. They don't bring peace and unity. They bring fucking misery and entitlement. I wouldn't even bother listening, but it refers to the male race. The male race. What the hell? How did this woman even get out of bed in the morning and eat, feed herself? Like, these comments are so golden. A Karen recording herself having a very public meltdown. There's so much to dislike about that female. Attitude, voice, hair, mannerisms, god awful tats. And look, someone says, really took the chance to drop an insult comment, don't you? See, that's the thing, is that whenever people fucking, you say anything bad against women, they're instantly an insult. It's stupid. Says the colonizer. I'll colonize you if I don't shut up. Colon party. This is the stupidity of Reddit, right here in this. Here we have clearly a deranged woman going on a tangent to just some random person in Home Depot. Clearly she's in the fault. But for some reason in the comments, Reddit will become its own vortex of shittiness. It's like, you know, negative reviews, colonizer, it's bringing up race. People just are always at each other's throats on Reddit. It makes no sense and it's stupid. And that's why I'm glad I'm banned from Reddit. It's hilarious. Fuck Reddit. Look at this. Once again, a woman is the problem. She doesn't believe she is. That's so true. I mean, she is. Once again, an insult shows up on Reddit too. See, remember what I was talking about in a previous video, is that there's a huge sex war of the sexes going on right now. It's like, it's so fucking hopeless between people that, you know, just go back and forth on each other, fucking bitching and complaining about each other, fucking whining. That's what people do on Reddit, is they just whine back and forth to each other. Just like this woman. White girls are feminists, liberal or sympathetic. They're self-serving opportunists. Don't trust white girls. Now that's a generalization, because there are plenty of great white women out there. There's plenty of great women and men out there in every walk of life. But you know, you can't let these Xi Jinping your IP. Now, this I have a problem with, because there's good in everyone, I believe. But in this woman, she's just become so twisted by her own selfish desires that she just can't see the problem she is causing. And maybe she's just doing it all for attention. It's very possible. Yeah, I mean, some are like that. Some of everyone is. There's good and bad in everyone, and it's all how people choose to take this walk of life is how they end up becoming. I guess I could try to male race deplorable, because I'd still smash. There's so many comments of people saying I hate her, but I'd still fuck her. That is pretty much the bane of men, isn't it? I hate them and their personality, but I'd still fuck them. That's exactly what guys are like. Well, a lot of guys. On the outside, sometimes guys will be like, you know, trying to be as honest to themselves as they can, but deep down, and just want to fuck. Perfect example of super hot on the outside and super shit on the inside. Yep, absolutely. I don't even think she's that attractive. See, I find women are more attractive when they're slightly thick, I guess you'd call it. Thick to even chubby and fat. Like, I mean, sometimes when it's a serious health issue, you notice it, but mostly I like women who are a little bit have more chub to them. I like that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you like that and you have any desire you want about another person, it's nothing about that. But skinny chicks are gross to me. She's not that hot. I definitely hit and dip. I mean, I probably would too, but I mean, her personality's horrible. I mean, if I had to just make an agreement where she couldn't even talk, she'd just come over and fuck. That's all I'd ever be interested in. Physically fine. Feeling everyone has their own thing, broseph. Welcome to the world. That is true. As like I mentioned and said. Okay, here's a bigger one. She's a prime example why it's hard to respect America. Not the people, the country, and the culture that generates these selfish, hateful morons. I know not all Yanks. I know plenty there, but decent folk. But damn, the worst makes it hard to take them seriously. That is true. I mean, we come to a time when, honestly, like, people's perception of themselves and their possessions have become their most valuable asset. You know, they have their phones, they have their banks, they have, everybody is so attached to objects and things that, you know, it's like Tyler Durden said, the things that you own end up owning you. It is so true. You become what you become, like, obsessed with, and you become just as useless as the objects that um you know, desire. Just hateful. Just so much hate in the world right now. Just a hate for your common man, a hate for your common ancestor, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be a communal species, but we're not. We're more solitary now. Let's see this next one. You can tell by the tattoo she likes to make bad decisions. That's good. I mean, yeah, that's the thing with tattoos. Is that a few tattoos I'm fine with, but as soon as you start plastering body or letting some greasy tattoo artist paint your body every Saturday night, it's just stop, women. Don't get tons of tattoos. It's deplorable, and it ruins the physique of it. Now there's that perfect balance where they have like a couple tattoos and a couple good little spots, and that's not bad. But as soon as it's all over their arms and all over their legs and stuff, it's just looks used. It looks well worn. Okay, well, I'm done with this fucking woman. You can check out more on her on there. She got her Instagram canceled. It was like called Art Van Grow. It's a pretty new developing Reddit story, but she's a bitch, and I can't believe people like this live in this world. This is a good one. This is a really good one. Give you a second just to read this over. So this guy, chick, she met this guy. All of a sudden, she got ghosted. Had an amazing relationship, and everything was great and grandiose, and they just left. Just left without saying. Now this was weird for me, because I don't know why would someone would do that unless he found something about her that he like truly just did not really like. Look at this comment. His textbook dentist system. Dennis, I love you from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Now we can look through this. Now he has completed the full Wrath of the D.E.N.N.I.S system, and we're gonna pull up the D.E.N.N.I.S system here and run it through for you. The D.E.N.N.I.S system, it comes from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Basically, first demonstrate value, which he has done. Engage physically, he's done. Nurture dependence, he's done that. Neglect emotionally, he does. He's inspired hope, and then he is separated entirely. Now you'll see the D.E.N.N.I.S system coming up here, and it's very well crafted system. It means it's so they can get what you want from women without actually attending to their lives, basically. This is textbook D.E.N.N.I.S system. I mean, he pulled it out. He pulled it out of the D.E.N.N.I.S system. That's lots of them. It's right. Oh, I love So It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's such a good show. Okay, well, this next one is disturbing as fuck. And yeah, I kind of always felt this way too. Is like schools are kind of like prisons. Getting you ready for the life of prisons. Oh man. And it's on insane people's Facebook, but you know what? It's fucking true. I mean, like, kids are forced into education. I mean, like, I get it. society has to have educated children, and you have to learn things. But school, there's so many kids that have to go to school. They have to formulate kind of like a fucking prison, and it's even worse in the U.S. because of all the shootings and shit. Like, it's just a terrible time. And I remember as a kid, like I hated school. Like, I didn't like going to school. I mean, there was kind of cool people that I met along the way, but there's just so much commotion, so much pressure. In general, school is, I mean, education is just like a fucking trap. They just fucking trap us with this shit and force us into this. Can't get a good job if you don't get post-secondary. Can't get shit if you don't finish high school. I mean, they fucking force us into doing this. They force us to go fucking to this institution that they've created. And, you know, with talks of things in school curriculums, they're like kind of like pro Christian values. Like, that's really fucked up. You know, kids should learn about science and the world and finances and just how the world works. They shouldn't have to be fed doctrines. And I kind of got the impression, even in Canada, of like kind of like an indoctrination. You know, that's what school is like. It's kind of like, this is the world, this is how you view it. You know, and I would ask questions, you know, because I'd really like World War II, and I'm like, well, you know, there's lots of things happened in World War II, and there's lots of things happening in the world right now. And I feel like the education system kind of institutionalizes children a little bit towards, you know, someone else's values. It's fucked. Alright, well, we're going to end on the last one. This is an extremely depressing one because everybody heard the news of, at this time, of this 1.2 billion. People think, oh, 1.2 billion. But you just think about, like, all the taxes that were collected on that. Like, all those people paid money to into a lottery pool that just kind of went towards the government. That's fucked. That's so fucked. I mean, 433.7 million. You're still set for life, more than you could ever need. You wouldn't really need 1.2 billion. And, you know, I've obviously never had 1.2 billion, but if you had 1.2 billion dollars, you'd be hard pressed to find a way to become totally broke in your life, I would imagine. Even if you took a couple million off to the side, that's nothing. Yeah. But for 433 million, you'd live off the interest like a king. Sick money. Money is disgusting. Money's kind of funny and sad. And if you know anything about me, I hate capitalism and I hate money, and I think it should be fucking abolished because it turns people into animals.